How's it going, everybody? Jeff Johnson from the Gazette here, along with Jeff Linder. And we are, as we always do, going to call it both ways. And I heard it. It took a long time last night, Jeffrey, but finally, someone right in front of me in the stands at Prairie last night uttered it out about midway through the fourth quarter. I was getting worried. But I got my daily dose of call it both ways. So that's the important thing. So
I heard a lot worse than that last night.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Not good. We are knee deep into the postseason, boys and girls wise. Girls a week ahead of the boys, of course, started a week earlier, and that's a good segue into where we are exactly, girls basketball wise, in the postseason, and we have some state tournament berths that are going to be decided. What, tomorrow and Saturday?
Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Saturday for 3A, Tuesday for 4A, 5A, Wednesday for 1A, 2A, and then state tournament starts a week from Monday. So we are knee deep in tournaments and ankle deep in snow and eye deep in cold
weather.
Yes. So,
you had a game last night. You want to?
It was really enjoyable. East Buchanan was able to get past Edco 60-53 in a 1A regional quarter. Good ball game. East Bucks third win over Edco this year. They got 20 points from Lainey Hogan, 15 from Peyton Bowes, the transfer from Jessup, and she had two absolutely humongous three-pointers there with about a minute to go to turn a 4-point lead to 10. And Grace Long had 11 points, 13 rebounds. For Edco, really good junior, Lily Bariski, I believe it's pronounced. 24 points, 17 rebounds, which is a load for a kid that's probably not much taller than 5'8" or so. But junior had a really nice game for them. That sends them into a regional semi Friday night. The regional semis in 1A, 2A. It's kind of weird. 1A, 2A go Friday, Wednesday, and then 4A, 5A go Saturday, Tuesday. So it's the small schools kind of leapfrog the big schools there for the regional finals. Tonight, we got regional semis in 3A, along with regional quarters in 4A and 5A. The only Metro team in action tonight is Linmar. They go to Waterloo West in what ought to be a pretty good 5A regional quarter. 3A regional semis, we'll just go through real quick. Solon at Mount Vernon, which is always a lot of fun. And Benton Community at Mediapolis in the other Region 1 semi. In Region 2, it's Monticello at Waller, Tipton at CPU, and I'll be at center point for that. Region 3, walk-on at Forest City in that, quite a long trip that the Indians will be making. And then West Delaware and another long road trip goes to State Center, which is in center of the state, of course, and they play at West Marshall. The other region is Region 4, Mid-Prairie's at Williamsburg, and Albia is at Prairie City, Monroe. So that's where we're at in a nutshell with the girls' postseason. Why don't you get us caught up with the boys?
Yeah, I was just going to say, East Buchanan has never made it to the girls' state tournament, correct?
True. They've been very competitive the last 6 or 8 years. They've always just kind of been that 2 seed in a lot of regions where, whether it was a Garrigan or somebody like that they had to play in a regional final or somebody good in a regional semi. So it's become a very competitive program. They've got a lot of seniors this year. And of course, they've got a pretty tough game in the regional semis against Dunkerton. And then if they get past that, a really tough game against number 5 Riceville, which plays Lansing Key in a semifinal on Friday.
But there's a legit chance that the Bucks could get to state.
I think so. I'd say it's probably a 60-40 proposition against Dunkerton and maybe a 40-60 against Riceville. Certainly nothing that is impossible, but something that's certainly challenging.
And when was the last time you saw Storm and Norman, your buddy?
Storm and Norman's kind of been, I don't want to say out of commission, but kind of dormant this year. I'm hoping for a return tonight. My hopes aren't too high, but if he's there, there will be a reunion.
That's, man, Storm or Norman, you got to come out, man. Your boy Lindy's going to be in town.
That's right.
Got to. It's a necessary thing. So
yeah, there will be a reunion, and it will be emotional, I'm sure.
on the boys' side, we've had, I guess, what is today? Wednesday, right? Monday was
Today's
like
Wednesday.
a first, or Wednesday. Monday was the first full night, I guess, of hoops. We had some pigtail games in 1A last Friday, or this past Friday. Those teams went into the main bracket, I guess you could say, and then we had a first full round in 1A, and then 2A we had a pretty full slate of games. And in 2A you have the top two seeds don't play in the first round; they get buys to the next. So not really any huge surprises or anything really even close, I would say, even around the state. So everything's gone chalk so far. And then tomorrow we've got district semifinals in 1A and 2A around the state. I think my plan is to head out to Alburnett for Alburnett and LaPorte City Union, or Union Community. I'm sorry, I'll get the proper the proper verbiage right. So I think that's where I'll be. Another interesting game to me is Lisbon at Monticello. Lisbon is in 2A in basketball this year. So would have to think, Lindy, that they might be a River Valley Conference school sooner than later. What do you think?
Yeah, they'd be a nice fit, especially in that South Division where they'd be about the same size as the Wiltons and Durants and Tiptons of the world, more so than the Monties and the Animosas and certainly in Maquoketa.
I just because there's a lot of newer housing out that way, and I think the enrollment keeps going up and up.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll have to
get a lot of the open enrollment from the school to the east of them.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yes.
That's unfortunate for the schools.
Fortunate for Lisbon, and they've got something good going there. So I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. We had released, IHSA released 3A and 4A postseason brackets on Monday, and the way it works basically is the teams that are 1 through 8 in the rankings automatically are number 1 seeds in the substates.
Makes sense. That makes sense. That puts what you guys do in the IHSA rankings committee. Makes all that click. And so tell us what Metro Iowa City wise, what top 8 teams do we have?
In 3A, Decorah is a top seed, and it's really interesting. The Vikings are ranked 2nd in the state, so you would think that they'd get a decent. Well, I mean, there's no real decent draw, right? Sub-state wise, but in with Cedar Rapids Xavier and Dubuque Waller, the Vikings are. So that was really interesting to me. I went and saw Xavier last night actually play at Cedar Rapids Prairie, down 3 starters because of sickness. Yet it was a 40-40 game early in the 4th quarter, and Prairie's ranked number 10 in 4A. So interesting sub-state bracketology there for me to Decorah. And then because Xavier hasn't lost to a 3A team all season, all the losses have been to 4A schools from the Mississippi Valley Conference and one to West Des Moines Dowling, which is a good 4A team. So
yeah.
Clear Creek Amana is in with Waverly Shell Rock. CCA is a 2 seed. Waverly Shell Rock's a 1 seed in that.
Where's Waverly ranked in 3A?
Waverly is this week number 6, I believe. Okay. Davenport Assumption, defending champs, are in that sub-state as well. And then everybody else, I think, is a 2 seed from around here. Solon's a 2 seed. And its sub-state. Mount Vernon is in a 2 seed in its separate sub-state. You'll have to get the vibe from the folks up in Center Point tonight, Jeff, because Center Point Urbana won its division in the WAMAC, split with Solon, split with Mount Vernon, and yet got a 4 seed, whereas both Mount Vernon and Solon got 2 seeds. So I'm guessing, I don't know. Better overall record, Mount Vernon and Solon have better overall record.
Okay.
But yeah. And then in 4A, we've got Cedar Falls is a 1 seed in its sub-state, obviously being the top ranked. Iowa City West is in that sub-state as a 3 seed, a good 3 seed. Limar is top seed in its sub-state as well. The Lions moved up to second this week in the rankings. Could possibly face, it's likely it'll face West Des Moines Dowling, which has been in and out of the rankings this season, all season. So not an easy draw really for Linn-Mar. Kennedy's a top seed in its sub-state as well. The number 2 seed is Muscatine, which won the MAC. So that's an interesting draw there. And then Cedar Rapids Prairie is the number 2 seed in its sub-state, with Dubuque Senior being the 1 seed. And interestingly enough, those 2 teams just happen to play Thursday night in a regular season game. So they could play each other. Yeah, they could play each other twice in like a week and a half. Prairie wins tomorrow night. It shares division title with Cedar Falls in the Valley. But I guess I'd have to say the more important game would be the potential one later on. So, I think the bracketing was good in 3A and 4A. I think all the way through the tournament. Done a good job, and of course, geography is always still a pretty significant consideration for the boys. But we'll see. I think just first glance at everything in 3A and 4A and how things have come out in 1A and 2A, and they're very early going. I think the bracketing has been pretty good from the association. So
great.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want the best teams. So
MVC ends Friday. Is that right? The regular season?
Most everybody plays Thursday will be the finale. Okay. And then aforementioned Dubuque Senior goes to play. Seniors ranked 6 this week, flip-flop with Kennedy 5-6. Senior not only has to play Prairie tomorrow night, then has to go to West Des Moines Valley, 2-time defending champs, and number 3 in the rankings. That's on Friday for a regular season finale. So it is a very real possibility that Senior just got done playing Linn-Mar as well.
And you were up there at Nora, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that excursion.
It was, I wouldn't say it was white knuckle to get up there, Jeff, but definitely a lighter shade of gray.
Okay.
Because the snow was just blowing across 151 on Friday, and it was just like, whoa. But anyway, Nora Gym's a great place. I love that. So much history there, and just a great environment and a good ball game. Linn-Mar one was ahead most of the way, as many as 12, I think, in the second half, and then all of a sudden it got real tight, and but the Lions survived and won by 3 and finished the finished with the win and a division championship as well. So really playing great basketball right now. 11 wins in a row for the Lions. 18-2, I think, overall right now with one game to go. So very high quality basketball team. Davis Kern is, I think a potential Mr. Basketball. We'll see how the voting goes. He's going to South Dakota State. So, Limar's really, really playing well, and it's going to be a handful certainly as we go along. And then back to Senior real quick. Senior has the 2 games I mentioned against Prairie and Valley, both ranked. Then the Lindmar game last week, and then last night lost to Cedar Falls, top ranked team. So it's a very real possibility they can enter the postseason with a 4-game losing streak and still be a top seed in the sub-state in 4A. But that's
probably deservedly so, right?
Yeah. It's just the way the schedule for them went, so backloaded, incredibly. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. Not certainly not assuming anything's going to happen, but yeah, I love that up there. Got to see the Heisman Trophy. Jay Burwanger, Tobik Senior. Was he number 1? Was he the first?
I don't know.
Remember.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
But yeah, he won a Heisman Trophy, senior grad. I think it was University of Chicago way back in the day. So yeah, great place. Good people. Good game. Much better clear road on the way home. So we made it.
Good. I would have just told you to stay up there if it was bad.
You've been on the road. Yeah.
Little bit.
Just a little bit.
Did not go to Columbus Monday, though. So that.
Oh, man. If you drive now, you could probably make it by game time.
Yeah.
You want to talk Iowa women?
Sure. I don't know. Did you watch the game Monday? Did you see any of that?
Just very, very little bit. Man, what a comeback late.
Yeah, they got down early. They were kind of in that down 8-10 range most of the game, and made a run to get within, I think, 2 early in the fourth quarter, and Ohio State made another push to get it to. It got to 12 with a minute and a half left, and then Lucy Olson just went bonkers there in the last minute. Hit 3 3-pointers in a span of 36 seconds, I think. Made a couple free throws with 3 seconds left in regulation to tie it at 74, and then Iowa actually took its first and only lead of the game, scoring the first basket of overtime, but kind of ran out of gas there a little bit. Ran out of players. Foul trouble caught up with them, and Ohio State was able to close that out 86-78 in overtime. But what a miraculous finish that was at the end of regulation for them.
When you're chasing the game like that, that's got to take a lot out of you late.
Yeah.
Over, I imagine, right?
Yeah,
they were pretty much chasing the game the whole way, right?
Yeah, and so now Sunday they got UCLA coming in. Gonna wait and see if UCLA's really good post Lauren Betts is gonna play. I think she's got a foot thing going on. So if she can't go, I think that becomes a reasonably winnable game for Iowa. If not, it becomes otherwise it's going to be really tough. But that's the way it is now in the supersized Big Ten.
That's strange to me because USC was here 2 weeks ago?
3. They were here on the 2nd of February.
Okay. It's weird. Because I think the men do this. They pair USC and UCLA on the road wherever they go. They have travel. They're travel partners. But the women's side
they are partners to go there, but I don't think they necessarily travel together. I think they might go different places at different times. So, when Iowa went out and they went to Oregon and Washington the same time. But UCLA and USC don't come the same weekend, which to me would make more sense. Just say, there's there's 18 teams in the league. Everybody's assigned a travel partner.
Yeah.
Iowa's would probably be Nebraska, and when somebody from out east or out west comes, they play both teams in like a 3-day span, and those two teams would, basically circle the globe to get together for their road trips.
That make too much sense,
Yeah, well, it's TV. TV.
That's true. That's very true.
TV's the reason for all this whole mess anyway. So whatever. So
but Iowa's off the bubble and looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
now.
I'd say I think the last bracketology had them at about a 9.
Okay.
Which isn't a very good place to be, because even if you win the first one, you're stuck playing 1 in the second round. But, which would maybe mean, maybe Notre Dame. That's probably the only one that would be drivable. Texas would be borderline drivable if it's Texas. So, right now I'm not sure South Carolina's a 1 seed, and, might be one of the Los Angeles schools. I imagine they wouldn't want Iowa to play USC or UCLA in a second round game. I don't know. I don't know how they do it now.
Where's Iowa State situated with all that?
They're right on the bubble. I think they're either one of the last 4 in or one of the last 4 buys.
Okay.
So they're in probably, but there's not much room for error for the Cyclones, and they could use some wins here down the stretch.
And we've only got 3 weeks left in the regular season, right?
Iowa's got 3 games left.
3 games left. Okay.
Women have 3 games left. Is that right? Yeah, they're 8-7. They got 3 left. They go. They got UCLA, then they go to Michigan, and then they got Wisconsin at home for Senior Day on March 2nd.
Okay. Well, this weather has been so cockeyed. We're having January weather now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 40s here in a few days.
Oh, that's more like it.
Yeah.
More like it. So, but we are coming down the home stretch. No doubt about that. So, you're sched the rest of the week, Jeffrey. You want to share?
Center Point tomorrow. I'm going to go to Regina Center Point tonight. Off tomorrow. I'm going to go to Regina Friday for Regina Cascade, and I imagine Regina's been looking forward to this one for a year, because Cascade knocked them out in the regional finals last year. Saturday remains to be seen. If form holds, I'll probably go to Mount Vernon. They play Mediapolis, and there's a couple of teams that would be 22-1. But that's assuming Mount Vernon gets past Solon tonight, which should, but you never know. In a rivalry like that, Mediapolis plays Benton Community tonight. So, how about you?
We always talk about the difference between the union and the association, and one of those differences is playing postseason games on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Boys, nope, can't do it, won't do it unless there's some sort of weather thing where you have to.
Right.
It's interesting. I don't know. I don't think we'll ever combine. I know we've talked about that prior. I don't think they'll ever combine.
I wouldn't say never.
Okay.
I wouldn't say never.
Okay.
I think it happens in our lifetime.
Okay. All right. I guess I better get way healthy here and start running and all that kind of stuff. Stick around and see that. So I guess for me, just tomorrow night, I think I'll be over at up in Albernette. Might get some chicken, roasted chicken from the old Mahoney's. It's not Mahoney's anymore. I can't think what it is. Fuller's Grub and Pub, I believe, is what it's called. Great place.
Is there a new gym in operation yet?
No, not the last that I knew anyway.
Okay.
But they've got a lot of every school I go to. Prairie, there were cranes out there and stuff going on, and Marion, there's stuff going on, and a lot of, I guess that's progress, right? So
that is. Beware, self-service / Wi-Fi is not good in the old gym at Albernette.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Or at least it wasn't last year.
Okay. Saturday I'll be helping out with some coverage, regional final somewhere, wherever you tell me to go eventually. So, and then 3A, 4A, and then next week will be someplace pretty much every night. 3A, 4A substates begin. Monday. Then we're back to 1A, 2A on Tuesday. And I think 3A on Thursday, 4A on Friday. And I think we'd be down to maybe 1A, 2A sub-state finals by that time. So
Okay.
it'll be interesting to see. It's fun. This is my favorite time of year, honestly, sports-wise.
Yep. I always say, as much as I enjoy covering the state tournament, I don't think there's anything like a regional final or in your terminology, a sub-state final. Do you agree? I just think that's when it's fun.
Yeah, because you have gyms that are packed. You don't have the cavernous environment of Wells Fargo or whatever it's called or going to be called now. I agree. Getting to state is a major accomplishment. And then, for a lot of schools, I think it's gravy from there. But yeah, I agree 100%. Do you have a full house last night?
Full-ish, probably 3/4 full. Have you been to the new gym in East Buck?
I have not. I hear it's nice.
Probably 6 or 8 years old now. I guess I shouldn't say it's new. Maybe it's even older than that, but it's nice.
Okay. One other thing, just real quick before we sign off, I forgot to mention in 3A and 4A this year, we have home court advantage for someone all the way through, which makes the sub-state seedings and the rankings that much more important.
Mm-hmm.
Because say Kennedy gets to the sub-state final, it'll host that game. Same for, Linbar, for instance. So, and then 1A and 2A, they stay with neutral site games for sub-state finals. So, and I don't know why that is, but I suppose I could ask. But all right, anything else you want to hit before we?
No, is there anything hockey-wise that really?
Oh boy, did you watch the Four Nations, U.S. and Canada?
You know what? I did. I did watch the first U.S. Canada game. Is that? Are they playing again in the final? Is that?
Tomorrow night in Boston. So
I like it. I like the idea.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm a little surprised by how much the players bought in to it and how meaningful these games are to them, and that's the whole big thing to me.
Yeah.
So, but that was bonkers. 3 fights in 9 seconds was something, and I think it's been great for hockey. And I love hockey. So I
enjoyed that a lot.
And then next year we got the Olympics. So,
yeah. And now does that take place smack dab in the middle of the NHL season? Is that kind of what what they're having this year, except it's even bigger?
Yeah. I think they'll shut it down for 3 weeks or whatever it is next season, which is unfortunate, but there's no way around it. Hockey's the winter sport, right. So that'll be the way it works. Then locally,
I kind of wish they did the same thing with basketball. I kind of wish the Olympic basketball was in the winter.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It seems like a winter sport. It gets kind of lost to me in the summer with track and everything else in the Olympics that go on. So
right.
Heartlanders played home tonight against Bloomington, then hit the road for almost a month. A lot of things going on down at Extreme Arena. So get down there if you want. Rough Riders both teams are looking at pretty good for playoff spots in their respective leagues. Rough Riders, Mark Carlson, the head coach, set USHL record for most regular season games coached. Last weekend, they had a nice ceremony. The USHL commissioner was there, and Mark was honored as he should be. And he is 9 wins away from tying the all-time wins record in the league and 10 from breaking it. And hopefully that'll get taken care of by the time this regular season's over. They have, I think, 19 regular season games left. So kudos to Coach. He's a good one. So, all right. Thank you for joining us. I think we called it pretty good both ways tonight or today.
I think so. We'll do this one more time next week, and then week after that, I'll be in Des Moines. The week after that, you'll be in Des Moines. So,
and catch up with KJ Pilcher.
Yes.
Quick plug. He's got wrestling, Boy State Wrestling individual tournament starting tomorrow, right? Thursday, Friday,
Today.
Saturday. Today. It started today. Okay.
Start today.
Man, that's crazy. So everything you need at thegazette.com. Folks, we appreciate you tuning in. For Jeff, this is Jeff. And of course, continue to call it both ways.